Welcome back. Well, he is still by far the most popular mixed martial arts star in Canada. But are his worldwide fans as ready to embrace the return of Georges St-Pierre? It's been 4 years since he last appeared in the octagon, and in the MMA world, new heroes have emerged. So it's far from a sure bet. But as TSN's Robin Black reports, GSP is ready to attempt a career round 2.
Georges St-Pierre!
You hate to fight.
It's true. I hate it. There's nothing more I hate.
When I'm going to fight, I'm scared as hell.
GSP, the all-time best in UFC history. He is the perfect fighting machine.
The feeling of uncertainty. Are you gonna win or lose? Are you gonna be humiliated? It's so stressful.
The champion, Georges St-Pierre!
He may be one of the greatest fighters ever, but Georges St-Pierre is a man of passion and doubt. Longtime friend and manager, Rodolphe Beaulieu.
He has self-doubt all the time. His fear of losing is very big. That fear made him excel.
Big right hand by St-Pierre. Georges! It is all over!
When I know I'm fighting someone, I'm completely obsessed about it.
I mean, he's just a master strategist.
It's all mine. It's up here that makes the difference.
More knees by GSP. Georges St-Pierre is the undisputed UFC welterweight champion.
Saint Isidore, Quebec, a small French-speaking town located just outside Montreal. Before he was GSP, before he was UFC champion, it was here that a young George first experienced conflict.
When I was in school, I was bullied a lot. There were a group of delinquent teenagers, and they were picking a lot on the younger guys. I used to fight every week. Most of the time, it didn't go my way.
So what sorts of things would these bullies do to you or your friends?
One of the things that had happened is I'm in school. They come in the class, they close the door behind, and they beat me up. They hit my head on the table. The corner of the table is I have a scar here. That's that scar I have. It's not from fighting, it's from that.
Who's mon nom, Georges St-Pierre, mon karaté, Kyokushinkai, mon kata, Basadai. Who's?
Firas Zahabi is George's longtime coach.
George being bullied as a kid really definitely made him who he is today. He was severely tortured as a child, but that's what made him love martial arts so much.
Karate helped me to carry myself with confidence. Look people in the eye and pretend that I'm not afraid, even if I am.
George fought his self-doubt with an obsession to improve. Brett Okamoto covers mixed martial arts.
George was the tactician. He was the scientist. Every inch of movement was done for a purpose.
I run so many different scenarios. So in a fight, when it happened, I've done it in my head thousands of times before.
Ariel Helwani hosts a popular MMA podcast.
He didn't care about the flashy knockout or the highlight reel finish. He just would go out there and completely nullify and dominate his opponents.
Oh! Superman punch caught him! Wow! Dominant round for Georges St-Pierre!
George's resume is one of the greatest ever. He successfully defended his title 9 straight times.
There was one point where I think he won 31 rounds in a row. That is impossible.
He can't do anything with GSP.
It was like watching the closest thing you can get to a perfect fighter.
It is all over! Georges St-Pierre!
Dana White is president of the UFC, the world's largest MMA organization.
The thing that really happened at that time was how big UFC became in Canada. I never saw that coming, really. The greatest fighter to ever come out of Canada is one of the greatest of all time.
For years, Georges St-Pierre was the perfect champion. Cerebral, polished, an aura of invincibility. But beneath the surface, the mental stress of pressure and expectation neared its tipping point.
When you're a champion for so long at the higher level, everybody is like trying to climb and grab you. So I need to constantly be in movement. It was completely insane. It was completely insane.
When he had a fight, it was that guy, that guy, that guy, all day, every day. He was so obsessive that he couldn't even enjoy other aspects of his life. How long can you mentally prepare yourself to that level?
The most talked about man in mixed martial arts right now. It sounds like he's going through some stuff, that he's conflicted, and there are all kinds of rumors and reports.
This is a dangerous sport if your head isn't 100% into it.
November 16th, 2013. Georges St-Pierre defends his welterweight title against top contender Johnny Hendricks.
I remember the night of the fight just thinking that George looks like he needs a break.
Are you ready? Let's go! And come on! Here we go! Hard shot by Hendricks. Another one. Oh, my goodness! George is in big, big trouble here, Mike. Georges St-Pierre has got to be in desperation mode. They have gone the distance. I think we may have a new welterweight champion.
After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the winner. And still,
You can argue that Johnny Hendricks, won that fight, but in the end, the judges gave it to George.
Well, George, congratulations on defending your title. You're a true champion. What were you gonna say?
Listen, everyone, it was a lot of talk about what's going to happen. I have a bunch of stuff in my life happening. I need to hang up my glove for a little bit.
Is this the end?
You've got a lot of fans wondering what exactly you meant. Is it a retirement? Is it a vacation? Is it, personal problems?
If you are even remotely considering walking away from the sport, if it even crosses your mind, you should do it.
In his UFC career, he rarely lost a match, but now the sport is losing him.
Georges St-Pierre officially announced that he's stepping away from mixed martial arts, at least for now.
Your obsession to train and get better and be the best in the world made you a champion, but that might have been also why you needed a break. Is that accurate?
Mentally, I was like borderline depressive. I retired, basically. I stopped to keep my head sane. There was a time in my life that I did not understand how lucky I was. But now I appreciate a lot more what I have. I wouldn't change my life with nobody else's life.
When you decided to retire, you got tired of having a fight all the time.
I didn't want to fight anymore. When I retired, I was in an unhappy place. I was emotionally drained, and I don't like the fighting. You think I like to take a risk and fight in the cage? I don't like it. You should see me before a fight when I'm in the locker room. I'm like, God, what the hell I'm doing here? Hey, I should never have done this. Oh my God, what the hell? The fighting, I like the memory, the positive memory that it gives me. Why I hate it so much is because you put so much on the line, and I'm a proud person. So my biggest fear is to be humiliated and knocked out or submit in front of everybody.
Matt, here's like a submission, and it's all over!
No, I miss it because I would like to come back. I have so much more knowledge now. I feel if I don't do it, I'm in my prime now, it would be a waste.
Georges St-Pierre, one of the sport's all-time greats, is getting back into the octagon. after stepping away in 2013. That's a long time.
Georges St-Pierre officially signing his UFC contract to fight Michael Bisping at UFC 217.
He's got to move up in weight to fight Bisping.
I've done some of what I wanted to do, but I'm not finished yet.
Michael Bisping has been in the game forever, and even though he's the champion, doesn't get enough credit. Many people want to see if GSP still has it.
Michael Bisping, the reigning UFC middleweight champion.
George sees Michael Bisping as the champion he can beat. So he wants to come out of retirement, step up a weight class, look like a hero. Georges St-Pierre, what's the word I'm looking for? He's weak. I think he's weak mentally. And this big comeback, he's a fraud. He's a fraud.
For George, the larger Bisping presents new challenges. George copes in the same way that made him champion.
That's it.
With unrelenting work ethic.
Training is a therapy for my brain because if I'm not training, I'm overthinking stuff. And when I train, it's like a distraction. I forgot the pain, Gavin.
We call him Rush. And the reason why is because of his intensity, his ferociousness. How much this guy gets done in a day is ridiculous.
George's compulsion to improve drives him to learn from top trainers in every field, regardless of location.
I'm at the Wildcard Gym. I'm training with Freddie Roach because it's the best of the best. So I'm coming with the master. What's up, coach? Good? I'm changing, coming right away, I'm coming.
Freddie Roach has worked with dozens of world champions and is helping George to grow in an area he must improve to counter Bisping's strength.
Believe me, if I didn't think he was ready to fight again, I would be the first one to tell him.
It's like a race between me and the doubt. So when I train well and I'm doing well, I'm kicking ass and training, I'm going here. When I'm not doing so well, the doubt goes here. So it's a constant race. And the goal of my training is to make it there. I'm not afraid of Michael Bisping. I'm afraid of myself to not be able to deliver as much as I should, as much as I can.
The advantage for Michael Bisping is Michael Bisping's been doing it for the last 4 years while Georges St-Pierre wasn't.
I've had more wins than anyone in the history of the UFC.
Oh my goodness. Michael Bisping is the champion! Wow.
Michael Bisping embodies George's childhood bullies, big and intimidating, with an intent to instill fear and doubt. For George, the fight with Bisping brings back familiar mental hurdles.
It's a little bit the same thing, the trash talk in MMA and the bullying when I was in school. It's the same kind of feeling, you feel insecure. I hate it.
One of the greatest athletes that has ever been in the octagon.
This is absolutely a legacy-defining fight for Georges St-Pierre.
He is the all-time best in UFC history.
If you want to be the greatest of all time, you need to face incredible challenge. I am excited and I'm afraid.
Georges St-Pierre!
You're always gonna have doubt. Doubt are there. I'm always gonna be afraid. Are you gonna win or lose? Are you gonna be humiliated? It's so stressful. But I like to win more than I hate to lose.
And W5 continues in a moment.